These three signs distinguish a superior man: the virtue that frees him from anxiety, the wisdom that frees him from doubt, and the courage that frees him from fear. Confucius developed a moral philosophy aimed at sowing peace and harmony in society. Even today, his teachings remain relevant. Number 1. Ignorance. Confucius was a Chinese master and philosopher whose thoughts and contributions are still relevant today. Living in a time filled with conflicts and wars, he developed a philosophy based on principles like respect, kindness, and honesty. Moreover, he advocated that education was the best path to creating a peaceful society. He broke with the tradition that only nobles should have access to education and devoted much of his life to teaching human values. His legacy was so profound that his followers founded Confucianism, an ethical system that has been practiced by millions of people. To Confucius, a virtuous person is always cultivating their intellect through study, and their actions are always guided by moral values. He considered knowledge not as an end in itself but as a constant journey. Additionally, he emphasized the importance of the past and revered old age, believing that the elderly were the only ones capable of passing wisdom to new generations. In this sense, he advocated a social structure where the older generations educated the young. When you see a good man, think of emulating him. When you see a bad man, examine your own heart. Confucius believed in this idea because he considered virtue and wisdom as personal achievements that must be cultivated internally. When we encounter someone who displays goodness and virtue, Confucius suggests that we should observe and learn from their qualities, seeking to emulate their positive actions and behaviors. On the other hand, when we come across someone who is considered bad, Confucius encourages us to reflect on ourselves and examine our own hearts. He believed that when confronted with the negative behavior of others, we should evaluate if we have similar tendencies and work to correct them within ourselves. This approach reflects Confucius' emphasis on self-reflection, self-improvement, and personal responsibility. He believed that the pursuit of virtue and wisdom was an individual journey, in which each person had the responsibility to better themselves and contribute to social harmony. The wise man seeks what he wants within himself, the foolish man seeks it from others. Confucius wanted to convey the idea that true satisfaction and personal fulfillment lie within each individual. He believed that a wise man could find happiness, wisdom, and virtue by seeking these qualities within themselves through self-reflection, self-awareness, and the cultivation of moral virtues. On the other hand, the foolish man seeks external things to fulfill his desires, such as material goods, power, fame, or the approval of others. Confucius emphasized that this external pursuit was empty and bound to fail. True virtue and wisdom reside within each person. Therefore, Confucius encouraged people to turn inward, cultivate moral virtues, seek wisdom and virtue within themselves, rather than relying on external factors for fulfillment. He believed that this internal quest would lead to a more balanced and harmonious life, avoiding the emptiness of seeking fulfillment in external possessions or recognition. Number 2. Lack of self-control and excess. According to Confucius, lack of self-control and excess are characteristics that should be avoided as they can lead to negative consequences both for the individual and society as a whole. Confucius believed that self-control was essential for cultivating virtues such as temperance, moderation, and sobriety. He considered that acting impulsively and giving in to immediate desires could lead to harmful behaviors and personal imbalance. Additionally, Confucius saw excess in any aspect of life, whether in the consumption of food, the pursuit of physical pleasures, or the use of harmful substances, as a form of imbalance and lack of control. Confucius emphasized the importance of moderation and balance as paths to virtue and social harmony. Cultivating the capacity to control impulses and make conscious decisions allowed people to live according to the ethical values advocated by Confucius and contribute to peace and harmony in society. He who cannot master himself, how can he govern others? Confucius believed that a leader, whether in government, family, or community, needs to be able to exert authority over themselves before they can do so over others. This means that a leader must have the ability to control their own emotions, desires, and impulses to make wise decisions and act justly. A leader lacking self-control is at risk of being influenced by their own passions and personal interests, which can lead to impulsive and unjust decisions for those under their leadership. If a leader cannot control themselves, it is unlikely that they will inspire trust and respect from others. Therefore, those aspiring to be leaders must first develop the ability to discipline themselves, master their emotions, and act according to ethical principles. Only then can they lead with wisdom, justice, and for the common good. This quote highlights the intrinsic connection between self-control and leadership ability. It serves as a reminder that to govern wisely and efficiently, it is necessary to have control over oneself, avoiding impulsiveness, imprudent behaviors, and lack of moderation. Number 3, lack of sincerity and deceit. Those who lie to themselves and listen to their own lies will reach a point where they will not recognize the truth, neither in themselves nor in others. Confucius emphasized the importance of sincerity and honesty as foundations for establishing healthy relationships and building a harmonious society. He believed that lack of sincerity and deceit were harmful behaviors that undermined mutual trust and damaged human connections. Addressing the issue of lack of sincerity, Confucius was concerned about the negative impact it could have on personal and social relationships. He advocated that sincerity should be practiced both in words and actions, since coherence between what is said and what is done is essential for establishing trust and credibility. As an essential virtue, he emphasized the importance of speaking the truth, acting with integrity, and avoiding deceit. Sincerity was seen as a fundamental basis for building healthy, reliable, and meaningful relationships. Lack of sincerity and deceit were considered disruptive behaviors. Confucius argued that when someone engaged in lies, manipulation, or deceit, they not only compromised their own integrity but also undermined trust and stability in social relationships. For Confucius, sincerity was a quality that should permeate all spheres of life, from family relationships to broader social interactions. He argued that being sincere and honest in words and actions would enable people to establish genuine connections, resolve conflicts constructively, and contribute to the creation of a more harmonious society. This quote serves as a reminder that sincerity and honesty are essential values for promoting trust, mutual respect, and cooperation among people. By avoiding lack of sincerity and deceit, individuals lay the foundation for healthy relationships and a more ethical and harmonious life. Confucius taught a philosophy focused on promoting social harmony through the practice of moral virtues and the fulfillment of social roles and responsibilities.